2017 Briggs Cup in pink and serving. Tina Ricks, Fernanda Rocha in purple. Purple and receiving. Amanda Sobhy, Nikki Todd. Best of 5 games. Love all. Side out, one love. One all. Side out, 2-1. Three-one. 3-1. Yes, let. Carl will. Yes, let. Thank you. Three-two. Out. Side out, 3-all. Fault. Four-three. 5-3. Six, 3.
Good evening for those of you just tuning in, hoping to catch the 8 p.m. men's final. Matches are slightly delayed, and the women's final is just underway. The men's final will be directly after this one, so apologies for the delays. There was various issues with players' arrivals. Thanks.
Seven, 4. Not up. Side out, 5-7. Just let 5-7. Five, 8. Side out, 9-5. Fault, out. 9-6. Just let 9-6. Left side, Amanda, yep. Ten, 6. Not up. Side out, 7-10. 8-10. Not up. 8-11. Right side. Down. 9-11. Ten 11. Side out, 12-10. Twelve 11. Thirteen 11. Down. Side out, 12-13. Thirteen 13. Thirteen 14, game ball, right side. Game. gallery, please take your seats. Thank you. Sobhy, Todd lead 1 game to love. Love all.
All right, welcome back to the second game of the women's very delayed final. The those of you tuning in to try and catch the men's final, it's due to start. It'll directly follow this one, so sorry for that delay. Qualifiers Sobhy and Amanda Sobhy and Nikki Todd up 1 love on the unseeded team of Tina Ricks and Fernanda Rocha in the pink and white. Fernanda Rocha on the right and Tina Ricks on the left. And Amanda Sobhy, left-hander in the black and white on the left, and Nikki Todd on the right. Nikki Todd and Amanda Sobhy beating number 2 seeds Narelle Krizak and Stephanie Hewitt last night, 3 love comfortably. Fernanda Rocha and Tina Ricks beat myself, Susie Pierpont, and Meredith Quick, and we were the number 1 seeds on Friday night. And then went on to beat Latasha Khan and Tahani Garouge last night, the 3-4 seeds. Both matches were 3-1. So the first game, pretty even. Took it to 13-all with a winner from Nikki Todd, and unfortunately an unforced error from Fernanda to take Ricks Rocha to 3 love. Tina Ricks completely losing track of that rally. She played a backwall boast that she didn't think was coming back, and then got sent back into that corner. So Sobhy Todd up 3 love. This is Amanda's first return to competitive squash following an Achilles injuries that she sustained last March at a PSA event in Colombia. So she's using this tournament and the Boston Open early in January next year as her preparation for a return to the PSA Tour at the Tournament of Champions in Grand Central Terminal in January. I think it would do.
Side out, 1-3.
Playing these matches, as she said, it's really boosted her confidence and her trust in her leg and her physical fitness and her ability to move around the court and compete. It's a great. Well, that's a lovely winner there from Fern. She plays that really well. She's backed Nikki out. Poor cross court from Amanda. Put a nice straight winner in. They've pulled it back to 3-2. But yeah, Amanda has nicknamed their team No Calf due to her rather diminished left leg, having been out of action on it for a long amount of time. I can only assume that Nikki's part of that is the fact that she's got rather small little legs. Maybe never had a calf to start with, but I'm not sure.
Not up. Side out, 5-2. Six two. Out. 6-3. Right side.
Just a little feedback there on my previous commentary. There's nothing worse than hearing the sound of your own voice. But that's a great shot there from Nikki. She's reasonably new to doubles in the last couple of years, but picking it up very, very quickly. She definitely understands the angles of the court and how to expose them. She plays that side wall, front wall from the front, the back, and the middle really nicely. A little bit of a sort of 2-wall singles boast that is unexpected. Yeah, you can't leave Amanda there. That was the one thing we said not to do, Tina Ricks. Right in Amanda's wheelhouse. So, I mean, I think, you know, if I was talking to the pink and white team now, they're 8-3 down and 1 love down, is that they've got to keep putting the ball over Nikki's head into the back corner, and basically the one place they absolutely cannot hit it is right there. You know, Tina lucky to escape with a let there. If Amanda had played a reverse, that rally would have been over. But, you know, of the two of them, they're both very mobile, but Nikki's certainly the quicker between Amanda and herself. So it would, you know, the tactic would be to put it over Nikki's head, as she's the slightly smaller one on this large court, and then try and open up the front left to attack on the slightly slower player. But overall, a very strong team in the black and white. Their first outing together as a doubles pair, but I think everyone knew they were going to be pretty strong. Amanda's played a lot of doubles before. She's, you know, her and Natalie Granger won the 2013 World Championships, and she won her and Fernanda won the 2015, I think, Boston Open, and are paired again together at the University Club coming up in the weekend of January 7th. I know that a fair number of Boston supporters watching this. Great weekend for the University Club of Boston, with Amanda and Fernanda both in the final here, and their new member Will Hartigan making the final of the semi-final, sorry, of the men's event. Coming from unseeding the first round to take out
5-9
the second seeds, Mikey Ferreira and Ivan Badan. So great win for them, and I'm sure many more to come. They really played brilliantly. So whatever's happening at the University Club of Boston, it's clearly a good spot to be a doubles player at the moment. So Sobhy Todd just opening up a 9-5 lead here. They're being very steady. We haven't seen too many racket errors from either of them. Establishing good length. You know, they've got to have a lot of confidence in the fact that they could stay out on this court for a long time if they needed to.
10-5 side out.
PSA players, so on the professional singles tour. Amanda's ranking, unfortunately, having been top 10, I think she got up to 6 or 7 in the world, is currently down at about 25 due to injury, but she'll no doubt be clawing that back quite quickly. Nikki Todd, 52 in the world, I think, and the current PSA Player of the Month.
10-5.
So obviously star on the rise on both the doubles and the singles tour. Fernanda and Tina Ricks, both previous PSA professionals themselves.
10-6.
Tina Ricks, a member of the Junior England team that won the World Championships in Malaysia back in the day. Herself and Jenny Duncalf, Laura Mazzaro, and Sarah Kipax taking gold at that one.
11-6.
I can't remember what year it was quite a long time ago. And Fernanda Rocha regularly represents Argentina at the Pan Am Games, and played in the PSA Tour. Not sure where she got to, but great to see. Not just for that's a wonderful shot. She's reached up nicely for that. Put her wrist over it. A little bit risky, but she knew where the opening was.
7-11.
Keeping Nikki back until she played it. Amanda not quite able to cover that. Great shot. But yeah, Nikki and Amanda are a great example of players that are, you know, schedule allowing, finding ways to play not just the professional singles tour, but the doubles tour as well, which is, I think, just great for the game overall, and bringing in new players and new faces, and obviously at a very high standard, given that all 4 of these guys have made the final. That's a great shot there from Fernanda. She plays that really nicely, you know, lets the ball come over in front of her and hits it nice and flat and straight. It's one of those ones that you know it's coming, but you can't start moving until she's played it. You can't, you know, take that shot away from her by getting in the way of it, so you have to hold up and just hope that it bounces high enough for you to get it. But in that instance, she managed to keep it pretty flat, and the ball just stayed right where it bounced. Yeah, Nikki just getting into that front left. Oh, well played, Fernanda. So she just held up nicely there. Both players looking to cover that front right. But if you're going to play the reverse, Nikki's stuck in that left corner. So much smarter shot than the straight drop shot there that would have allowed Nikki to start chasing it down before it had been fully played.
Not up.
Ooh, that's a great, that's Amanda's staple shot. We were talking the other day about how for some reason these left-handed players seem to be able to reach behind them in a way that the right-handed players on the right wall aren't able to. And she does catch that 3 wall really nicely from there. And it's tricky because she's probably taking the eye on it off it, given that it's sort of past a lucky bounce there from Nikki. Fernanda just scrambling. Pink and White have done well to get play their way back into this game. They've cut out the errors and they've got them getting a much better length on over Nikki and finding those gaps at the front of the court. Rick's just looking for the cross-court drop shot there. I should say Rick Stout, recently married to SDA professional. Ooh, I'm going to say no let, but that's... Oh, yeah, I'm right for a change.
10-12, right side.
They just felt that Amanda sort of wasn't able to get it, but B was out of position of her own accord to then sort of start on it. She was way up the court and sort of leaving that back left corner exposed. I think one of the things about the live streaming and be able to watch it from here is that you really start to be able to see how important the positioning of the players is in these rallies. You know, it's when we're on the court and you feel like, you know, it's much harder to see and to read the play when you're in it and you're on the court. But when you look back at it and you can see where you were standing at certain points, the way the rally unfolds starts to make so much more sense. And if you ever get the opportunity to, oh dear, it's the right shot. She's just played it poorly. No, she's just dropped her wrist at the end there and tried to carve it in rather than hitting through the ball. But yeah, I strongly recommend if you get the chance to ever watch back some of your matches, it's very valuable, regardless of your ability level, to look at these matches and just take note of, you know, not necessarily where the ball ends up, but where the person plays the ball from. I think whenever I watched matches in singles, it was always about more where the person who was hitting the ball ended up playing it from. And even more so in doubles, Fern just looking to cross but holding it long enough. That's a great get there from Nikki. I think that'll be just a let. I don't think they're going to give her a stroke for that. I wish. Oh dear. Oh yeah, from this angle it is very much a stroke.
14-10.
It was the right shot, but she could probably have done with making sure that hit the floor first rather than the sidewall. Oh yes, Fern, that's a great 3-wall there, just catching Amanda. You know, Amanda's back on the line.
14-11.
I think even if she was that's that sort of half step she's probably looking to get back. I think 8 months ago she probably would have had that one, but a great shot from Fernanda nonetheless.
Game.
Oh dear. Good shot there from Nikki again. Like Fernanda just not able to start moving until Nikki's played that. She really needed to cross on that ball and not open up that right side. That second game, Sobhy Todd, 15-11. They lead 2 games to love. Men's final, Damien Mudge and Mathur versus John Russell and Scott Arnold coming up directly after this one. Stay tuned. right, quiet please from the crowd. Full house here at Apawamis for the final of the Women's 2017 Briggs Cup. Into the third game, qualifiers. Sobhy Todd up 2-0 on Fernanda Rocha and Tina Ricks. John Russell, who's about to step on court for the men's final, just visiting us in the commentary box and pointing out that every time Todd hits that 2-wall boast, the front wall, side wall, one of the girls should be on it and hitting it right back into her nose was his suggestion. He's not wrong. I mean, maybe not to hit them in the nose, but that's a great shot there from Fernanda, just catching him under static. But certainly that 2-wall should not, it's not a great shot in doubles normally. It's a single shot and people get caught unawares of it.
One love.
But one of them should definitely be picking that up and making her regret it. It's a very predictable shot.
Down.
Nice winner there from Tina Ricks. She's playing that much better. She's swung right through that one. Look at that. Well played. So, little lead there for Ricks Rocha, up 3-love. I think they must have heard John Russell with his various commentary on this game. Would you like to join us, JR, briefly? That's a no. Apparently it's a hard no.
2-1, right side.
He is in the middle of his very extensive warm-up that, from what I can tell, involves playing head, shoulders, knees and toes. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. It's his theme song, it's fine.
Side out, 2-all.
Oh, is that no, that's a good reach there from Amanda. Tina Ricks just hitting the ceiling with that one. Tina Ricks just seems to have stepped forward. She's hitting through the ball a lot better than she was, pushing at it less and hitting through it, which is something she's actually been doing, doing really well in the last few tournaments. She actually did credit John Russell with the form that she's playing in at the moment. She played with him in the mixed draw of the world teams, the world championship, sorry, and
3-2.
She said she found playing mixed doubles to be very a great learning curve. She said she felt she settled down and was more willing to play out the rally and wait for the opportunities rather than sort of feeling like she had to force a winner from somewhere and end up playing the error. So I think a lot of players feel like that mixed doubles really is it's a great way to learn the game. I think it's one of the more fun versions of doubles to play, but also to watch. The standard of the mixed doubles in St. Louis this year was very, very high, and some of the most fun squash I've played, and I think a lot of the players agree with that. Natalie Granger and Chris Callis winning that tournament. They beat Victor Berg and Stephanie Hewitt in the final, saved a number of match balls to do so. Although I have to say, I think the king of mixed doubles still has to be Victor. Oh, Amanda just finding the bottom of the tin with that one. That's a good spot to put her in. She's going to probably go for it anyway, and it was just out of reach, just high enough to not be, in her wheelhouse. And if Fernanda's moving up on it, she's going to feel the need to really play it as well as she can. So, oh yes, Fernanda.
Side out, 4-4.
That's the shot she needs to be playing. It's very hard. Amanda might be up there, but the fast feet that she's going to need to find the angle there is, perhaps still something she needs to work on. Another good length there. Finding a really good spot. So that right there, she's a little bit too far over, creeping up the court, and Fernanda just finding a really good spot there. Nikki taking that one down the middle. Fernanda very much sort of stepping forward and trying to take control of this court, which is good to see. Another visit from JR, just encouraging his former work wife, Tina Ricks.
Six, 4. Six, 5. So do you. Just
all right, welcome
6-5.
to all those tuning in for the men's Briggs Cup final. The final's actually been cancelled and it's been replaced by this brilliant match. So sorry about that. Just kidding. They'll be on directly after this. The Mudge Mathur Machine taking on the new team of John Russell and Scott Arnold. It's going to be a good one, I think. You know, oh yes, Tina Ricks. Yeah,
7-5.
Looking forward to a good men's final. Packed house here at Apawamis as always for the Briggs Cup. Fitting as many people in as possible. I'm sure it'll be 3 deep on the floor, which is always good to see. The Briggs Cup has always benefiting the urban youth program City Squash, based at Fordham University in the Bronx, but also at Poly Prep in Brooklyn. A lot of money raised each year, or every 2 years, for this tournament. The majority of it this year going to City Squash. Slight cut in both the prize monies for the men's and the women's. That's a good get there.
8-5.
From Amanda, but Tina just seeing it. So Ricks Rocha really stepping forwards in this game and taking the match to them. I feel like both of them have really started hitting the ball with a lot more authority. That's another great shot there from Tina. She's stopped pushing at the ball. She's swinging through it. She's playing much more like she has been in the last sort of 7 or 8 matches that these two have played together. She really has been the one to keep the ball away from. And Fernanda's always been a shot maker, but she's prone to making a few errors. So if between the two of them they can keep the ball out the tin, they're a very dangerous pair. And you know, they're a confidence team as well. So that's a poor error there from Amanda, and unusual, honestly.
10-5.
But she's really gone for it, and a bit of a what we call a, I can't really use that word on air, but something or bust shot, in that it'll either be a winner or you bust. Oh, that's the one that JR was talking about, needs to be hitting the nose with. Tina not quite making it to Nikki's nose. Fernanda lucky there that Nikki wanted to play that. She tries to, oh Tina, that's random, don't do that.
Side out, 6-10.
Yeah, there's no need for that at all. I actually don't think she was going for a 3-ball. I think she just got her footwork wrong to try and play a straight ball there. That one she did mean, and it was wrong again. Yep, you have a word with yourself. Come on, Tina. Sorry, I'm slightly biased. Tina is my best friend, and I was the maid of honour at her wedding to James Stout recently. So, yeah. As much as everyone here is friends, I am cheering for pink and white. Sorry, Sobs. And Nikki.
8-10.
This is why I'm commentating and not refereeing. That is lucky. It's a great shot. I guess
8-11.
From that angle, it might have been the right shot. I feel like Nikki was quite high up the court, but well executed. And Ricks Rocha is still up by 3 points towards the end of this game. At this point in the game, I hope that they recognise how important this rally is and don't try and force the winners and play the way that they've been playing and keep moving that ball back into the court. That's it. And the good, like,
side
if you watch
out,
this,
12-8.
Tina is up on this ball, or she's starting to be. They're seeing that from the back now, which is great.
Twelve 9.
feel like of the two teams here, oh, that's a lucky bounce, really lucky. I mean, she plays that nicely, and Tina's out of position.
Side out, 10-12.
A little bit lucky there. I think the person forcing the rallies the most here is Amanda. I think pink and white can stay. It's very hard to stay error-free and attacking without error-free, but without being passive. So they need to be attacking here without making errors. That's a late call there from Amanda, but thankfully Nikki's quick enough. But it's very hard to find that balance between playing steady and not being passive. Because that's what happens when you do. That is, for those of you that have not seen Tina play before, the classic Tina Ricks racket drop. It's been about 15 years of that when an error occurs. She does love a good racket drop. But sort of a little bit of frustration there. They know they're right here at the end of the business end of this game, and you know, obviously a must win because they're too loved. Oh no. I think she needs to ask for a let here. Amanda really not giving her a chance to, although I guess neither of them were. Yeah, I would agree with that. Neither of them. Amanda, yesterday having some issues on the left wall with Narelle Krizak. Narelle getting very frustrated with Amanda's lack of crossing. And I have to say, I do think something she needs to address from doubles. She's played enough doubles that it should not be something she's unable to do. It is a mental thing, but you got to cross. You can't hold that spot in the middle and expect for those balls not to be a let or to eventually basically not get hit, unfortunately. I think Nikki's just put that in the ceiling. That's well played from Briggs Rocha. They picked up some good balls there. They stayed steady and they're putting it back into that back right corner. Nikki great around the front of the court, very fast, but as I said, relatively new to doubles and still, you know, not reading the bounce the back of the court as well as someone who's played a bit more might. So the more breaking balls at the back that they can get and the more angles they can put on her back there, it's going to expose the front of the court and it'll give them the opportunity to shoot front left or front right. I mean, either way, if someone's out of position, it's where you want to, and you've made a gap, that's where you want to find it. That's a smart shot there from Fernanda. Both Amanda and Nikki moving up the front to cover the short ball. This is a great rally here. Oh, very nice of Nikki to call that on herself. And that takes Briggs Rocha to game ball. I think she got it. I just think it hit the floor.
Side out, 14-11.
Hard to see, but I think she did. But Nikki, definitely the smiliest squash player I've ever seen. I've never seen anyone make an error or lose a rally and looks quite so happy about it. Fernanda just finding the tin there. I think she went for the right ball. Amanda's back there behind the red line, and that didn't need to be as good as she tried to make it. But right shot nonetheless. 14-12, game ball, Briggs Rocha. So good. Both girls starting to really move up on anything Amanda and Nikki have at the front. Which is good. They, you know, I think they've started to figure out that neither of them are going to be blasting it past them. They're more than capable of picking up. That's a good shot there from at her. That's it. Staying out the way. Two great rallies here. Some good all-court play. That's the shot they've got to avoid from Amanda. She played that beautifully yesterday down that left wall against Narelle. Is this still the same rally? Good squash, ladies. Come on. Come on, bunny. Oh dear. Oh no, that's not what you want. Lovely shot there from Tina. She's been playing that so well. It's really felt. Oh dear. not just the drop racket, the full twirl there. It's really not good for your racket, mate.
Side out.
Come on, so the 2 game
14.
balls saved here by Sobhy, Todd. 2 more to save, but this is glass arm city if they're not careful. Amanda's gone for it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a fantastic shot. But just Amanda really using her power there to just put both Briggs Rocha on the defense.
14-14.
Well up the court, and so we're match ball, game ball, match ball. Come on. Oh, and that's Max. Game and match to Sobhy, Todd. They win 15-13, 15-11, 15-14. Amanda Sobhy, Nikki Todd, the 2017 Briggs Cup winners. Men's final will be right up. We have Mathur versus Damien Mudge. That'd be interesting. The sides. Mathur and Damien Mudge versus John Russell and Scott Arnold. I'll be right back.
that we do for our team members, so we really appreciate it. And then finally, I want to acknowledge a person standing next to me for his tireless dedication to making sure the weekend unfolds without any hitches. You know, a lot of us have played a lot of tournaments, I think, across the country, and I think everybody will agree that the care and attention that goes into every aspect in terms of the pairings, the matchup, the schedule, is second to none. And I think that ultimately is what makes it a favorite for all the pros and all the players. And so for the last 16 years, he's lent his name and his heart to this event and to City Squash. And so we really appreciate everything. So let's. First, I'd like to congratulate
All right, slightly delayed men's 2017 Briggs Cup final. Brilliant. The boys totally heard my comments about wearing colour, and we've got green and black, which is basically the same as wearing black and black on these screens. So the white shorts on the left, Mathur, on the right, Damien Mudge. In all black on the right, Scott Arnold of Australia, and John Russell on the left of England.
In black and serving, Scott Arnold.
Oh wow! So
Green
an aggressive start here from black. They
Mathur,
are
Damien Mudge.
all right. Will Mariani is joining me in the commentary box.
Best of 5 games,
Greetings,
Laval.
Will.
Hi.
So black opting to serve from the left the start of the match. I think that is making their intentions quite clear. When was the last time you think Mudge got served to first in anything?
Probably when he played with Gary Waite in the inaugural Briggs Cup.
Potentially. So this is the 8th installment of the Briggs Cup, and Damien's 6th of the 8th? No, 5th I think of the 8th. 6th. No, I'm wrong. 6th of the 8th. He has won it
One love.
three times. Twice with Gary Waite, once with Victor Berg. Sorry, what am I talking about? He's won it once with Gary, once with Victor, and once with Ben Gould. So 2 years ago, him and Ben Gould won this as Ben's second to last tournament on the SDA Pro Tour, but essentially his retirement event. Prior to that, the 2 years before that, the tournament was won by Paul Price and Clive Leach. And 2 years before that, it was won by Mathur, who you see here on the left in the green and white, and Ivan Badan, who was the second seed here, and lost to Adam Buse of Nottingham in last night's semi. No, sorry, I'm losing my mind.
Okay.
In the quarter-final.
Yeah.
Yeah, these Monday finals really mess with my schedule well.
That's okay. But it looks like Russell and Arnold are out to a quick 5-love lead here now.
5 love.
Mike just backing away. So I think we spoke to JR briefly before this match. It might be the possibly the most excited I've seen him for a match in a while. They both him and Scott feel like they haven't played particularly well to get here, and I know they'll be really keen to for this to be the best squash they play all weekend, given that it's the final and this is the hardest team they'll face. But John Russell, one of the few people to have sort of beaten Damien with his various partners and with JR's various partners, so he's very aware of what they've got to do here to win this match, and I think one of the things that he knows is that they could be out here for a while.
Yeah, I agree. John definitely knows how to beat some of the best players in the world, and it will take a long time for it to come. But I look forward to seeing it. I know John personally has won the last 3 or 4 tournaments he's entered. So playing in a finals is nothing new to him.
Indeed, John Russell, current world champion, defending the title he won with Clive Leach in 2015. Him and Clive saving a number of match balls against your Canadian counterparts in the final.
6 love.
There was a couple match balls there. Unfortunately for the Canadians, it didn't go their way, but
good. I mean, to come back from 2 love down against a pair like that and reach match ball. I mean, I know it's not a win, but do you think that's worse than losing 3 love? Or,
I think so.
Do you think they were more upset? They would have been happier to just lose 3 love and call it a day than to come that close.
Exactly.
I think I would as well. That's to be 1 point away from it, and it was a cross court, wasn't it? Just something very basic.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully for the guys from Canada, they're a young team, they'll be back there again.
And Thomas Brinkman and Robin
6 love.
Robin, previously Scott Arnold's partner, I believe.
Exactly. So Scott's actually the young guy maybe on court here tonight.
No, Monic's the youngest. Not by much, but I believe Scott is 31 and Monic is 29-30. So Damien, the oldest on the court, at 40, but by far and away the most successful. Doubles player to have played the game.
Correct. He's definitely been #1 in the world almost ever since the late 90s. So it's a credit to his style of play and the way he takes care of his body.
Side out, 1-6.
Absolutely.
Keep coming up with results, tournament and tournament.
I think during the quarterfinals we had Bobby Burns here in the commentary box, and we were talking about Damien's record at the Heights Casino of 16 wins in a row, which is
something that you may never see done again.
I can't imagine that you will. That is and he's not done. It might even be 17. We don't know, but
I think Damien's gonna have to keep playing until he doesn't win.
I think that's the plan, to be honest. I mean, why would you stop if no one's going to beat you yet? Why would you stop?
It's a very good point.
I think that one just cross court from JR, just
Jordan.
catching.
Let ball.
No, it hit Scott's foot there. Yeah.
But Manek looking like he was going to play it, giving Scott no reason to feel like he needed to clear.
Looks like they're playing
2-6.
I think that's fair.
I mean, if the let call was early, perhaps.
So well, you had a pretty good showing in this tournament. You've had a pretty good showing in a few tournaments recently.
Yeah, a few tournaments recently. I've had some nice results. I lost to John Russell and Scott Arnold in the last tournament of the season last year in Buffalo. That was the first final I had made with Thomas Franklin. So that was exciting to play on a Sunday.
Yeah, that was a fun event up there in Buffalo.
Just
it
let
was a really
2-6.
good time in Buffalo, for sure. I hadn't been to Buffalo in a few years to play squash, so it was fun to get a tournament on the schedule. And
well, where are you based? Are you in Toronto?
I'm based in Toronto, so Buffalo was a quick hour and a half drive.
Great little cross there from JR, getting his little legs moving.
Let ball.
I think he's looking for a stroke there.
Yeah.
JR feels like it's a stroke. Two very large mammals gliding on the right side there, in the front right corner.
Couple Aussies.
Both over 6'3", I think. But he's over, but I think Scott's at least 6'3", and Damien's about the same. So we asked JR the other day if he felt like being a larger person helps for doubles, and he said absolutely. How do you feel?
I mean, it's worked for JR, so you can't go wrong.
Do you think he's the exception? Well, there's a couple of them, but the majority...
There are a couple. I mean, double squash allows you to be all sorts of body types.
I mean, look at Scott and JR.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite the same movement as the softball court.
Quite
as
sure
long
why
as he hit a good
felt
shot.
to see that.
4-6.
Forcing Scott into the right wall. I think Scott's a bit bemused by that one, but they've got a 5-love lead, sort of slip. But I mean, start of the game, you can always expect someone to maybe fire up a bit quicker than the other, start establishing themselves. So we're down to back to 6-4. Russell Arnold.
Yeah, I don't think JR and Scott have played Manek and Damien.
I was going to ask you that. I think this is their first outing, isn't it? Because they won in Atlanta, but Damien and Manek weren't there. They won in Buffalo, but they weren't there. But JR's obviously, who did he play with? Oh, he played with Victor, so he played with Victor last season. But I guess when Scott was playing with Matt Jensen last season, and maybe they came across them.
For sure, I'm sure Scott
That's a great shot. Oh yeah, a little
play left
away.
hand, the door
Love that.
Door is open.
It's very hard
Door's
to send someone
open.
the wrong way in double.
The door is open.
Oh, you've got to be kidding.
Didn't call it let? It should be a no let.
If the ball had hit the door,
there is no reason for that to be
you're
allowed.
right. It's a let ball. The door is open. Appeal, Carl.
If somebody can explain to me how the door was open, is that what they're saying?
4-6 on the
Oh
left.
no, they've opened the door to argue. I think is what they're saying.
No, they're playing a let on that call.
They're playing a let because the door was open.
That's a little.
How on earth is the door being open affect the fact that Manek got taxied?
And it was the 10th rally of the game.
Yes! Like, so what do we go back to 0-0? Oh, for God's sake, that is poor, and I would be very cross if I was JR, because that was quite spectacular. look out, Monik, he's coming for you.
Hopefully it doesn't derail the black team. They do have a good start.
The pace seems to have been picked up quite remarkably from in this last round.
5-6.
Shot there
Yeah,
for Monik.
JR getting a little stuck there behind Monik.
I feel like there's a few big guys in the court here, but of the three of them, Monik does the best job of really taking his space to play the ball.
He definitely has a big wind-up. Being a lefty, he can take a bit more space compared to a traditional left-waller who might be right-handed.
But even compared...
A let.
Yeah, that's going to be a let.
Definitely, as we can see in this first game, there's a few more lets compared to the women's game.
Is it because we're just politer, or is it because the ball doesn't move as quickly?
Well, I mean, the women played the ball, which is nice to see.
I think certainly for the women is, and I feel when I'm on court, is that it's to my advantage to play the ball when it's close to the other person, given that they're out of position, I think. And the ball is moving that bit quicker that we are able to maybe control it in a way that doesn't put you at a disadvantage should you play it.
That's a very good statement there. The ball in the men's game moves a little faster, so it is a little harder.
You're risking popping up a cupcake at the front, right, if you're going to play that ball.
Right.
Scott just really taking control of the front of the court, putting some pace on. That'll be another let.
This let.
I think JR may be looking for a
just a little late, yeah.
5-7.
So black team still holding a 2-point lead. They've done well. They were 5-0 up and let a few go, but they've sort of re-established themselves and haven't let more than 1 point slide in the last few rallies.
Well, it looks like a bit of an unforced
side out, 8-5.
It does. Coming into serve the Damien is making it very clear that he's the person they're intending to pick on. I think the way that Monik's playing, that seems smart.
I mean, it's
not
for
that
sure
Damien isn't.
I mean, with Monik, you have to be so aware of his pace whenever you leave a short shot or an opening.
He seems to be moving very well as well. Like he's worked hard in his fitness and his strength. I think it really shows. And as we pointed out, he's the youngest guy on the court.
Maybe that could be a point.
This let.
What do you think?
8-5.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. Having spent a lot of the last 2 years, or 2 or 3 years, battling with Damien on that left side, he's very familiar with that situation of someone's belly button as he goes for the ball.
Back wall Nick never hurts.
That is the
9-5.
What we call the squash fairies repaying that let. No, that let, I think.
I've never heard that bore.
No, the squash fairies. Hey, they're all over this place.
Okay. Hopefully, I see some in Canada.
Yeah, you need some Canadian squash fairies.
But Damien and Monik, I don't think have dropped a game yet in this tournament.
They have not. That's correct.
Where
they've just been watching the seeds scatter elsewhere in the draw, I think, with, rubbing their hands, I'm pretty sure. A lot of upsets this weekend, which is, personally, I love it. I think it's great to have. So it's great for the tour, it's great for the game to see some new faces making it into semis and finals on both the women's and men's side.
It's always nice to see new faces and bring a little more unpredictability.
Absolutely. And it's amazing how consistently this event achieves that.
10-5.
That's very true. I know a few years ago when Monik and Swiss won this event, it was the first time Damien and Ben had ever lost to each other.
And they were 2-love up. 2-love up, lost the third on a very, very bad 14-all, and the ball came down the middle, and neither Ben nor Damien decided to play it, and gave Swiss and Monik a game, and they saw an inch and took a mile, and 2 games later they were into the finals. So at that point, both Swiss was the assistant pro here, and I think it might have been the loudest crowd I've ever heard. But it made for a really definitely for a great tournament. And I think when you put that much prize money on the line, you're going to get the best out of a lot of players.
It definitely helps when there's a few more Benjamins on the line to get the best out of the athlete.
It's amazing how that works, isn't it? I mean, I know, I'm sure you're probably the same way, but this, a lot of the guys want to sort of peak for this tournament. Like if they're going to pick one to play all season, this is the one that they want to play well at.
It definitely pays to play well at this event.
Not that, a lot of tournaments don't have, players aren't out there trying their best, but they just, this is the most prestigious tournament on the calendar.
Definitely.
And
12-5.
There's more than just money on the line.
Left
I think
side.
The gold paint that comes with it says a lot about the teams.
It's for sure.
It's a legacy thing, right?
Yeah.
You want to put your stamp on the tour, you got to win this tournament.
Yeah, your name will be there forever if you win.
12-5.
Name will be there forever even if you win the Pro-Am here.
Oh. I guess me losing first round of the Pro-Am, I won't have my name on it this year.
I think I was the slowest Apawamis pro ever to finally manage to get their name on a board somewhere. Pete was giving me a very hard time for a long time about being his only assistant not to have won something, and thankfully last year managed to get my name on the Pro-Am board. I've not managed to make it past the first round of this tournament ever, but one day.
Okay, well I wish you the best in 2018.
Thanks. Assuming I'm still in one piece. But,
could be a let call.
I think that's a let.
It's a let ball, 12-6.
Scott finding himself pinned on that right wall with Damien. JR taking a step over. Not quite finding the width he was hoping for, and Monik thankfully not quite finding the shot.
Side out, 7-12.
Monik, return a serve.
Oh wow. Oh, so he just cut that short. Scotty probably not seeing it, expecting it to come a bit further back.
Frustration there by Damien not getting that ball back.
7-13.
Monik and Damien haven't lost a match in 12 tournaments or so.
Who was their last loss to? Was it Swiss and Mikey?
And in the very first tournament Monik and Damien ever
8-13.
played, they lost in the finals.
Of the Maryland Club Open, was that it?
2016.
Ball.
Gone on to win probably about 45, maybe 50 matches since then. That ball went out of court there by JR.
9-13.
Got on him a little quick.
It's pretty warm in there, isn't it? Well, capacity crowd.
Very warm. The ball is flying around.
What do you think of the court here?
I had no issues with the court, to be honest. I mean, when I played my couple matches, it was a little different style. These guys are really hitting the ball quite hard. But I enjoyed just lofting the ball quite a bit. But the court played very pure. It's a great court.
Stroke.
I agree. I mean, yeah, it takes a bit of getting used to because it's pretty different. Oh, that's a unusual error there from Damien to give that stroke away, and that takes Russell Arnold to game ball. I agree. I think it's a great court. But yeah, it's a bit different from some of the courts we play on, with it being a plaster wall and.
Yep. I think even there's a bit of a higher ceiling here too, so they haven't seen it yet, but you can use the lob in the top of the court here.
I saw the ball is good.
Great. It's got a great height on it.
Yeah.
Hard to see from this camera angle. Given that, you can't see the
14-10.
red line at the top, but there's a good, few feet of clearance up the top there to allow you to move the ball around nicely. That's a great bet from Damien. Wow.
Yeah.
long legs.
Uh-oh, John's a little sore there.
Oh,
Hobbling
dear.
to the front of the court. Hopefully it's not too bad.
Don't like seeing that.
Kind of slipped and jumped there, JR did, going to the ball.
Oh dear.
That would be disappointing. They got off to such a good start here.
Let's see this again.
Kind of just tripped over his own. Oh, he rolled his own.
Oh, he really rolled his
on
ankle
his
there.
own ankle.
That is not good.
Yeah. We've had a lot of ankle rolls here this weekend at the tournament.
Well, it's a bad weekend for JRs and the ankles. So John Roberts going down in the third game against Damien and Monik, rolling his ankle. Hopefully.
I don't know. Did they call it a match, or I guess an injury timeout,
I think
perhaps?
he's going to take an injury timeout on that one.
Well, that would be... I mean, I wish JR the best. You never want to see someone go down with an injury, especially so early in a match.
So we will you want to pop over and just find out what the... Hold on, we're going to figure out what...
Injury timeout. Yeah, because JR lost that point. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm not sure really how injury timeouts work. Double squash is a... the rules come and go. There's no necessarily rules
the rules do not come and go. Let's be clear about that. There is no coming and going of rules. Rules are made. Graham Bassett and I are both, big fans of rules, and they're not there to be broken. They're there to be enforced and lived by, and that's how we have law and order around here. They, feel free to pick up a rule book or a tour guide at some point. It'll serve you well, but I don't think that this.
I don't know if I've ever read a rule book. That's for sure.
It doesn't surprise me to hear you say that. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Back home, we definitely just play it and we go from there. Whatever makes most sense, we carry on with it.
Unfortunately, that's very subjective, isn't it? Like, what makes sense to you might not make sense to me, and we get into a bit of a grey area. It's much easier just to have a rule.
I mean, Susie, you're probably right on this one. I am no lawyer here, so I won't be winning this argument.
I mean, I don't think I've ever lost an argument, so...
Okay.
Yeah. But I believe JR is taking a little injury time out there, and very, very hopeful that he's going to be back
quickly.
Because this is not what we want to see.
As good as Scott Arnold is, I don't know if he can make up for JR's lack of speed with an ankle injury.
JR at the start of that game was moving very well. He's up the court. It will be very hard to cover for him should he be unable to move properly. That is... I'm not going to lie, I am rooting for the black team, and I'll be really, really disappointed to not see them come back out here.
Yeah. Hopefully JR can take a couple of those ibuprofens that are stocked in the Apawamis locker room and maybe numb that pain for a little bit. And
I mean, he rolled it pretty badly. He might need something a bit stronger than an Advil. All right, here we go. He's coming back on. Steve, calling Steve, the commentary booth.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
Get this court view back on and stop looking at the alcoholics in the audience and the drowned rat in the commentary box.
Perhaps maybe after this game I should ask JR if he would like to use my ankle brace.
I think he might appreciate that, Will. In all honesty, I think that's...
I know. I could do that for him. Hopefully the black team can win this game and
I did it.
Can recoup here.
Yeah, you got to wonder if JR's going to see the first serve and just go for it.
I know what I'm doing. I got my ankle taped a lot.
Are we going to see an outright JR winner here? I don't think he'd have come back on if he thought he was in any way gonna, you know, if it wasn't moving. He looks like he doesn't look unsteady.
Well, I don't think he has to go to the hospital quite yet. Oh, JR! Susie,
I called it. Wow, come on, it's JR. You put the ball in the racket, you're asking for trouble. So that is
true.
First game. Russell Arnold, 15-10. A poor start from the Mudge Mathur machine. They went 5-love down, but pulled it back, and Russell Arnold just managing to hold on to a lead to win that first game. We'll be back. All right, so both teams back on court as quickly as possible. We're back into this second game. It's been informed that JR has been his ankle has been taped, and he is good to go. So I think apparently the only thing he's in danger of is a few blisters from the athletic tape around his foot.
Sometimes for a player like JR, hurting your ankle kind of allows you to stay still and become a bit more of a precise shot maker, so we'll soon find out.
I mean, it really is remarkable how accurate people suddenly get once they can't move. And it's very difficult to play when you've got one party a bit injured. You don't want to risk hitting it to, especially one as talented as JR. You want to hit it to them, but you don't.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
You know, you've got to... Oh, that's a nice shot there from Scott. But yeah, that's a lap.
But you can see there the tape job there by John. I'm not sure if Scott taped it for him because it looks pretty amateur. But maybe that's what partners do, you know, anything for each other.
Yeah, I mean, especially, you know, these two are that's the same stroke that Damien hit towards the end of that first game, and he's timing that horribly.
1-all, excuse me.
But it looks like Mudge Mathur have changed up their tactics. Like those first two rallies were much slower than we were seeing in that game. They're sort of moving the ball, trying to push it up over JR's head rather than trying to hit through him.
I mean, the one thing with JR, I don't think you can hit through him. He's got great hands, and he's seen pace at the highest level for many years. He's used to it.
Right.
So nothing's going to surprise him.
You're not going to surprise him with the pace.
I mean, after JR won his World Championships this past year in St. Louis, I found out he made the British Junior Under-19 finals and lost to Ong Bang Hee.
He did. I was there.
So, as a Canadian growing up, I don't remember John Russell, but I definitely
remember Ong Bang Hee. Ong Bang Hee, absolutely fabulous Malaysian squash player. Still a fabulous squash player. He's still Malaysian as well. He is just no longer playing on the PSA tour, but a lovely, lovely guy, and one of the most talented juniors ever to play junior squash and seniors. I think he got to top 10 in the world for a long time. Another racket error there from Damien. Scott finding a really good spot on him on that inside.
Side out, 2-1.
A little frustration there by Damien as well.
Don't see that too often. But John Russell, part of the England junior team that I believe were the world champions out in Egypt one year.
That could very well be the case.
With, some very talented other English players who went on to become great PSA players, and I certainly remember as a 12-year-old at the British Junior Open watching him play. My mum and I, very big JR fans, just so fun to watch, such a natural with the racket, and always just the way that he that movement doesn't look great.
No.
That looks alright. But the same way that he is now, he's very easy on court, and he, makes it look kind of effortless.
Yeah.
But
2-2.
Racket error there.
Yeah. Well, I think for sure JR on the left wall has the softest hands out there.
He's got the softest hands on the SDA tour, hasn't he? He's big on the moisturizer.
Yeah, Susie, you're right.
Are you blushing, Will?
I don't know if I can be blushing with this full beard I have.
2-2.
Let there. So, Damien and Mike's sort of the last close match they had, I believe, was it with your partner, was it not, Zach Alexander?
Yeah, it was, yes.
Up in Toronto.
2-2.
No, so up in Toronto it was with Scott Arnold and Robin Clark. Robin and Scott had a couple match balls against Monique and Damien in the semis. Fortunately for Damien, he was able to hit a cross-court winner at 14 all.
That's an error there for Monique, I think.
But there have been a couple 5-gamers for Monique and Damien this year. They did go 5 in the quarterfinals with Raj Nanda and Zach Alexander.
Was that a 15-14 in the fifth?
It wasn't as close as 15-14 in the fifth.
I do love a good 15-14 in the fifth. Stressful whether you particularly care who wins or not, right? You can't help but... Oh, wow, through the legs.
Damien using his inner Victor Berg there to go through the legs.
An inner Victor Berg, that's a terrifying thought.
I think Victor is watching in Vancouver. He took
4-2.
Air Philippines back, by the way.
JR just catching Damien there in the front right, nice little hold before he moved it round the wall. And I think that's the shot that he's looking for, enough to stop Damien dead and have him pushing up into that front right corner. But Air Philippines, nice.
Whatever it takes, Susie, whatever it takes.
I mean,
You know, some people drive to tournaments.
Yeah, you had a nice little road trip down here, did you not?
Yeah, I sure did. We hit some snow on the way here.
That's a lovely shot there from Monik, just making sure
Side
that
out,
there was 2 bounces before it hit the sidewall, forcing Scott to try and have half a second less to pick that up. That's a really nice shot.
I think with Monik's pace, you're always
Do you think you were on the back foot?
worried or fearful of it coming back to you, so you're going to be that much slower going to the front when he goes short.
You've got to be a little bit.
Let call, I think, there.
It's starting to become a little bit fearful of Scott's pace. JR just acknowledging that Monik had caught him on the backswing, but Scott's starting to find the kind of pace that Monik can put on the ball, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. Scott, I know playing with him up in Toronto, he definitely hits the ball the hardest up there, and you don't want to give him any loose shots that give him some time to really wind up and square up on the ball. Scott, being a former top 50 singles player, has a very clean swing. So
he does. We talked about that yesterday. He's got a very Australian swing, but it makes it very. Looking at the way that Zach Alexander's playing, he has a similar swing, and Narelle Krizak, same thing. That they hit a very flat ball, and it seems to really be useful for doubles. It's a very nice way of hitting it.
It's nice to see Scott and Zach, maybe the next wave of Australians come playing the tour, who can almost dominate like some of the past that we've seen with Damien and Ben and Paul Price.
Absolutely. Zach and Scott actually both previously based in this area. They used to live in Harrison, New York, and trained with Rodney Martin. So not strangers to the Apawamis crowd. They are just Monik there just trying.
There's a great shot by Scotty.
That's
definitely one of his best shots there, reverse.
Just caught the corner on that one.
It's a left ball.
Not his sharpest one, but it's definitely one of his bread and butters. Ooh, they called a let, actually.
It looked like it came far enough back that Damien was there for that. 4-all.
This game, though, you can see the rallies have become longer. Guys are willing to work it to the back of the court a little bit more, waiting for some opportunities to create some angles.
It's a good reach there for Damien. The bounce caught him off guard, and he's able to just send that down the wall and not get himself in trouble.
It's one thing in the doubles game, you having that length that Monik and Scott and Damien all possess. It allows you to volley the ball, reach for the ball going short. It becomes very hard to put the ball down on them. You have to sometimes win rallies a few times.
Agreed. When you've got people covering the court that well. There it is. That's a great shot from JR. Just stepping in front of Monik, keeping him back. Damien not sure whether he's got to cover the cross court on his inside.
You're on the right,
or come up and step forwards for that. Well played, JR. Flying Monik, that's a great shot.
Yeah, you gotta love that left-handed cross-court reverse.
And the pterodactyl in flight there.
Quick snap. Left a little high. Ooh, I'm not sure if he should get a let there.
Ooh. Let's see.
It looked like he played.
Oh, he got him. He played it and it caught Scott.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, he actually hit it and it got Scott about where it says Arnold on the shirt, so it was probably going to make the front wall. Oh, he's played that really well. That's the one you're just talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's played that much better than the first one.
Side out, 6-5.
Scott definitely hits that one a few times on his home court of the Toronto Racket Club on Bleecker Street. I'm sure a few of his...
Which is not the one that burned down, right?
Which is not the one that burnt down. That is correct. That would be
really
the badminton and racket club.
Okay, I'm really sad to
Fortunately, at that club, the squash courts weren't affected.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Nice.
So.
There we go, squash fairies.
So maybe there are squash fairies in Canada after all.
I think they've just been really busy protecting squash courts from fires and not helping you out with bad let calls.
It's probably best they protect the courts from fires.
Agreed. There's a shortage of squash courts in North America. We don't need to lose any more. Well, how did you get into playing squash?
Susie, I got in when I was maybe 3 or 4 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my dad...
Could barely walk.
Yeah, barely walk, for sure. My dad was just a volunteer coach at the squash club he was a member at and brought me along Saturday mornings.
I'm hungry.
And that's how I got in. Eventually, I think the reason why I kept playing more and more was I think my dad didn't want to go to 6 a.m. hockey practice, and he liked 10 a.m. squash matches.
Sounds like your dad's a smart guy.
Yeah, he's like, I can play squash Saturday at 10 a.m. and drop my kid off.
Rather than 5 a.m. skate?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No need to
parents need to be more about, what suits their schedule and less about what their kids like.
If you can balance the two, for sure.
Why not?
You want it to go in your favor.
Why not? So we've seen this a few times. Is it an unspoken SGA rule that the youngest player on the court warms the ball up when it breaks?
I totally agree with that one.
I mean, makes sense. Let them, their shoulder's the one that's got the least amount to wear out.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
Why not? Oh, Charlie Parkhurst just joining us there briefly.
Hi, Charlie.
Say hi, Charlie. Lots of people can see you. Yeah, 12:15. It's all right. There's still wine at the bar, and exactly. What more could you ask for? Good squash, good crowd, lots of booze. Thank you, Pierre Peterson, for donating the wine for this weekend. It is, as always, for those of you that know Pierre, it is never in short supply, and the quality is always excellent. So, hence why the longer this match goes on, the worse the commentary is going to get, I'm afraid.
Maybe the crowd will get into it a little bit more, too.
Maybe. That's a given, I think. I mean, not that they're not already into it, because it really is a full house in there. So this has been a long 11 points here.
All right, 6-5 on the left.
I feel like we've covered a lot of bases in these 11 points. So we've had any number of lets and now a broken ball. And JR a big proponent of using the broken ball to your advantage. That is so predictable for him. He knows that new ball will skid and lay down in a way that an old ball won't, and he's looking for that from the get-go. Yeah, that's a great shot there. I think JR's commentary the other evening, he was described as the John McEnroe of the SGA Tour, which he was very pleased with. But
8-5.
He was great to have, and he's very, very knowledgeable about the game, and he's, applies it.
I've never heard JR on the microphone, but I can only assume he has a great insight into the sport. When you win a bunch of tour events,
when you're a double world champion,
you definitely know how to win rallies and what it takes. And as you can see, as you said, these first half of this game has been lengthy. You need lots of discipline.
Indeed, I remember talking to Clive about Clive Leach and JR previously, long-standing pair, and played a lot of matches against Ben Gordon, Damien Mudge, and Clive's thing was, when they would get out there, they would talk about the fact that they were going to stay out there. It was going to be 2 hours, and they knew that from the first rally. And to expect it to be anything less than that would be silly, and you've got to be sort of go on court and mentally be ready to stay out there for as long as it takes. And I'm sure, given that JR's had success doing that he will have shared that with Scott, and we could be here a while.
A little bit of an unforced error there.
Sky ball.
Side out, 7-8.
I always know You're told to look to play for a half hour a game and wait for your opportunities.
So that's the sort of, when you think about how the matches go, that's what you're allotting?
Yes.
Interesting. Don't think I've ever allotted half an hour of squash anywhere. Certainly not in singles.
Certainly not.
That's a whole match.
Yeah.
But
I mean, as it is, you just try to keep getting better and not hit. As I always say to my partners, let's just try to hit good shots.
Well, I mean, you don't want to hit bad ones, do you?
Yeah, no. I mean, the second you hit bad ones.
It's a stupid tactic. I mean, the thing about talking about sports is that we do state
7-9
really obvious a lot, but you'd be surprised how many times people don't think about the obvious.
Yeah.
You know, like the whole point of the rally is that you hit one more ball than the next guy, right?
Yeah, as I told my partner this weekend, let's just try to win the last rally of the match.
There you go. And sometimes those little things can be very helpful to your thought process during a rally. You know, if you're thinking about being the last person to, you know, you're going to hit one more ball than they do, then you think about it a bit differently. You're maybe not going to go for the outright winner that causes the error, right?
Maybe. I mean, I went for the outright winner in my quarterfinal match against JR and Scott and lost 15-14.
Yeah, you missed that one.
I mean, I'm a preacher. I'm just not a follower.
Aren't we all? That's why we're sat in the commentary box and they're out there. That's why I've been in the commentary box all weekend.
Well, Susie, I wish you luck in your next tournament. Hopefully you're not
thank you.
Here all weekend in the commentary box again.
I will be, yeah, I hope so too. But you know what? It is what it is, and I've had fun, and think I'm working on my next career. I don't know if everyone agrees, but I've enjoyed it.
Well, I don't know. I just got a message from Victor Berg saying, why does Susie know so much about this men's squash doubles tour?
It's a good question, Victor. I clearly have a lot of free time. No, I mean, I run the women's tour, and I pay attention to the men's tour. We have a number of overlapping events, and I honestly believe that it's good for the sport for the two tours to be more aligned, and so I like to be informed. But you know, I watch a lot of these matches. I'm a bit of a nerd. I love squash, and I love watching these guys play, and yeah, watched a lot of squash.
No,
I don't mind saying that. I find this incredibly impressive. I think the way these guys play is fantastic, and I've taken the time to talk to people about it and learn more about the game, and I enjoy it.
I think that's the best thing with squash and squash doubles is you have great access to the players. You go up and talk to them afterwards to find out what they're thinking, what kind of preparation they take.
Slide out, 10-9.
So JR just crowding Monic enough there to force that error. Scott was on it anyway, but
it is 10-9 here for Russell Arnold.
Is it still the same game? Yeah, I think one of the things about squash, whether it's doubles, singles, wherever it is, one of the great things about it is that you still have that, like you said, that access to meet the players, to talk to them, to learn more about the game.
Great shot by Scott.
Oh yeah, he's been watching.
11-9.
Fernanda hit that one a few times today for sure.
She loves that shot. She plays it brilliantly.
Too good. Yeah. Oh, you got
it. Yeah, it might not quite find it.
That rally still going on. Or
11-10.
Oh,
and then JR might have clipped the tin.
I think he clipped the tin with that one.
Did that one hit Scotty there?
It caught his foot, yeah. So that's 2 pings on Scott from Damien.
Yeah. But
nothing
too dangerous.
Shots.
Yeah, nothing too dangerous.
Not getting a hemorrhage yet.
I mean, I do know it is exciting when someone gets hit by the ball. My most favorite part as a spectator.
It really isn't. As someone who's been hit by Manic Mathur, it's not exciting. It really hurts.
I mean, from a fan perspective, though, it's really exciting to watch. Just like an NHL hockey fight, you know, when people.
Oh, I do love a good hockey fight.
Yeah.
But you know, people ask who hits the ball the hardest, and most people say Manic. And a good example of that is he broke my arm once with the ball. And that was his backhand. So the ball came down the middle, and I'd crossed to the left side, but not far enough.
Out of court.
On it, and he just
that ball went out of court there. Russell Arnold go up 12-10 here late in the second game.
Big point this one, really big point, especially mentally for Mudge Mathur having just made an error to get back into this, and they do not want to find themselves too locked down. He did.
Oh, and he got a little lucky, I think.
Yeah, I guess it hit.
Manic didn't quite read that.
13-10.
Yeah.
Oh, down goes JR.
Get up! I guess that low centre of gravity, he's able to go down and come up a bit quicker than maybe the other three would. Oh, Scotty.
Bit of a casual mistake there from Scott. I think he wishes he did better.
Side out, 11-13.
Such a good shot if you make it, though. I feel like that's a Jonathan Power-esque. Roll that wrist over, just get enough under the ball to put it in straight when it's not really the angle to get that from.
Just let 11-13.
Said it a few times this weekend, but I do find it remarkable the control that you guys have, given the pace the ball's moving at. And it's until you've been on court with you guys, it's hard to understand how difficult it is to hit a ball that is moving that quickly with any kind of direction.
Yeah, I mean, I think the balls can reach to speeds upwards of 160 miles an hour.
I think it's a lot more than that. I think the singles ball can move at 120 odd. No?
Yeah.
I think is it John White that's got the record for hitting the singles ball?
He does have the record. I'm not sure what that would be. We'll have to get one of our viewers to.
Can someone Google that?
Yeah.
Let.
But I think we've put the speed camera on Manic, have we not?
Yeah,
that's what it was, 160.
Well, I know the speed camera would only register up to 160.
Ooh.
And Manic went over 160.
Got it. Okay, so
12-13.
But so it's 160 plus.
160 plus.
Hence the broken bone.
Hence the broken bone.
It's good to know I haven't just got weak wrists.
12-13.
Yeah.
It's it was
maybe more milk in your diet, Susie.
I drink a lot of milk. I'm one of those people that thinks that milk is good for you. I know, you know. I mean, that's not a thing anymore, but yeah, I'm a got milk person.
Well, you are an English woman, so
what my diet sucks regardless. Well, we were giving grades to people's diets the other day, and I'm a happy C-. James Stout is a straight F, as is JR. But Victor, Manic, and Damien, I think, are all in the B plus A range. What about yourself? Where would you put yourself?
I would say if C's average, I'm just above an average.
That's a great reaction shot there from Damien. JR not quite getting his racket on it.
And then a little fist pump by Damien there as well.
Yeah, well, they've done well. They were 13-10 down. They've
got it to
back
13-13.
This getting very tight here.
Just let 13-all.
This will definitely be a big momentum swing depending on who wins this game. I mean, big shot.
So we can
14,
talk about
13.
Ball speeds during the interim, but we've somebody has hit Google for us.
Thank you.
Doing this commentary does make you realise how many people have your phone number. Love you all, Lobbies.
Well, the purest Cameron Pilley can hit the hardest softball.
Well, he did put a hole in his own brother's back with it, so if anyone wants to... Oh.
So there at the end of the match, I don't know if everyone was able to notice, but Damien and Monik definitely started picking up the pace and just forcing the other guys to try to get the ball back and hit it in the middle of their strings, but Russell Arnold coughed up a few unforced errors.
There we are.
Did 5-point run out. Mudge Gould have run out 5 points. Mudge Gould. Mudge Mathur run out 5 points there to finish out that game from 13-10 down to 15-13, and that is a huge comeback to level this match at 1-1 because 2-love is very, very different, and Monik just lovely cross court there and a big fist pump from Damien, rightly so, because that is a huge comeback for that game. All right, 1-1, we'll be back.
Scores tied at 1 game apiece. Laval. Yep. That would have been something new. 1-love.
It is a bit of a common shot to go behind your back.
Just don't have the time to get your racket around it, right? It's much quicker. Just
exactly. There's a great cross court by John Russell.
Side out, 1-all.
The English flag headband out on JR now. The Bulldog has been relegated. I think that's a good sign. But so we were having our conversation about who hits the hardest ball. We've been informed that it was 176 miles per hour by Cameron Pilley with a singles ball. So I think I might have been right about it being well over 140, Will. Or 160 was it? But yeah, if anyone wants to see just how much damage a singles ball can do, feel free to Google Cameron Pilley brother squash ball and enjoy.
As I was telling Susie between games, I compare getting hit.
Up! Stop!
Ooh, that was close. Scotty thinks he got that one. You can hear him yell, no, no, no.
You didn't see it? Jordan, you saw it
it's
down?
It's hard to tell from here. I do feel like Scott is not someone to argue ever unless he really feels strongly about it. I think it's one of the few that we've seen. The only other one was that stupid yes let because the door was open. But
yeah, I think they might have got let out of it. I'm not sure what happened there. Yeah,
at the very least, right, it's hard to see. And
I think it was a point actually to Damien. But if anyone does want to know how it feels to get hit by a ball, go out to your local paintball range and just ask one of your friends or your mother to shoot you.
At close range?
At close range, yeah.
Right, none of this, like, 50-yard nonsense.
Exactly. And then you can tweet out your tattoo.
It does make a lovely bullseye. I think it was Graham Bassett that got hit twice in the same, or pretty much the same spot a few years ago, was it not?
That's true.
By the same person?
Yes, lad.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly.
1-2.
Poor Graham.
I know. I've hit my own partner twice, and he was not too happy with it.
Very much remember Greg Park hitting Dana Betts twice when they were playing together in the mixed worlds a couple of years ago.
But you can definitely see the pace has picked up a lot. Ooh, that might have just clipped the top of the tin.
I feel like that's a really good example of it's very,
2-2.
very hard to show that big swing for the power ball and then control the ball to the front.
Definitely.
You know, it seems like such a good idea to show the big swing and send people back, but the execution at the front from there is much harder than you think it is.
I mean, in double squash, you have to be so...
that's a great shot. So they've really picked on Damien there to create
3-2.
Open up that, but with the bag cross court to then be able to go straight down the wall there. Damien's seeing a lot of balls at the start of this game. 2-2.
I mean, I think Damien for sure is the guy you want to go after.
It's been a long time since someone said that.
Well, Monacan is just so dangerous with his pace and the space he takes on the court. You're a little more fearful of Monac.
The problem with playing everything to Damien is
3-3.
that, you know,
hold on, left box.
Sort of played as if he's the, even when he's the best, he plays as if he's the worst guy on the court, right? Like, so he moves on every ball, he puts it in smart places, he plays as if he's getting picked on even when he's not. It's made him the most successful player. So you're only playing to his way of playing when you pick on him. And I feel like he's reacting well to it. Take JR's head off.
That could be.
What do you think, Will? What would you give if you were reffing?
I think a let. I mean, I can see JR seeing.
Bottle that decision.
Yeah.
You think Damien had moved just enough?
Yeah. I mean, if I was on court like JR, maybe I'd be wanting a stroke. But watching from here, it was an easy let call.
Like so far up the court every time. Oh, Scotty.
5-3.
Bit of an unforced error there by Scott.
Yeah, needed to take an extra half step.
You could see his reaction there. He thought he could get that one back.
He seems to be having trouble with one of those floorboards back there on the right. Same problem yesterday.
Well, that's the point.
6-3.
Yeah, no one's
They got to
gonna
control
argue with
this
that
run
one.
here if
Stroke.
Team Black wants to stay in this game. If not, you could easily see Monik and Mudge roll away with this game.
Seven, 3.
JR yelling at himself, knows he can be better. Oh, there you go, JR. Nice high backhand volley cross court.
7-4.
Eventually on the doubles game, that's where you have to
Just
find
let,
your winners,
7-4.
is attacking to the front of the court. I mean, as much as you want to be patient,
Vault.
I mean, to
Deal.
win these matches, you need to have both players
Second
attacking
serve.
well to the front.
Right. It's a bit like what we're talking, well, I was talking to myself about during the women's match, was that it's hard to play sort of, in air quotes, safe without being passive. Right? You can't play not to lose, you have to play to win, but without risking, you know, putting the ball in, you know, making errors. That's a great break there for Monik.
Yeah.
Just finding that sideball
8-4.
right in front of Scott to send it into an awkward position on his body. But Team Black is, sorry, Team Green is running away with this game a little bit. Must have been hard to come back. They had, you know, from 14.
Played the ball. Good winner.
9-4.
Great shot, Monik really. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got to find a way to freeze Monik out of this game. He's seeing far too many balls and he's playing them far too well. It's very dramatic.
That was a pretty good
let.
shot.
I think that's a no let, and I think he's well out of position there.
10-4.
Oh, they gave him a let.
They didn't. Yeah. Well, I
No,
got another
they
one
didn't.
right. No, they didn't. So that's 10-4 for green and white.
They left that one a little up.
Monik just missing that one. JR immediately moving up on it.
Side out 5-10.
It's 5-10 here. Need a bit of a run here by Russell Arnold.
They
You
do.
kinda
They
get
need
it
to
close.
could do with a couple of unforced errors from Mudge, Mathur. I don't know if they're going to get them, honestly. They haven't hit, you know, they've really reined in their errors from, well, I guess from 10-13 down in that second game and up the pace and have really pushed these guys back. Start looking for that. That's a great ball there. Just knew that was coming. JR left into it. Great angle, well played.
6-10.
Like doubles can be a very momentum-driven game. Like it's not uncommon to see teams go on runs of 2 or 3 or 4 points. What's the biggest
6-11?
comeback you've seen or biggest deficit reduced?
Don't know about myself, but I know earlier this year at the New York Athletic event, first round action, the team was down 14-8 in the fifth, and came back to win 15-14.
Oh, you're not going to forget about that in a hurry. Who was that?
So that was Graham Bassett and John Roberts coming back against Alex, Dominic, and Will Hardigan. Will Hardigan, who made his first Briggs Cup semifinals this weekend.
What up?
Oh, JR.
Great shot by JR.
Yes. That's what we
7-11.
like to see. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. 8-14, and oh wow, good effort to come back.
It is common to see a momentum swing in double squash. You hear the two love trap all the time, whether it's at the professionals or the recreation level.
Just let 7-11
in a hurry.
I guess, I mean, we were, 15 is a lot of points, regardless of whether you're up or down. When you go back to 0-0 at the start of a game, 15 is a lot of points. Mike doing well to stay out the way of that one.
Is that a good shot?
Yeah,
I think so.
no, he's definitely. JR's giving that the little fist pump for his partner. Great shot.
8-11.
Now, I knew coming into this event before I drove down, I was watching some highlights of the SDA tour on.
Is that how you passed your road trip? No podcast for you, just SDA highlights, and I'm the squash nerd. Nice.
Yeah. No, actually, it was before actually hitting the road. Well, I went to Fred Reed Jr. to pick him up. We watched some on his big screen. It's really fun to watch.
Oh, I think that's a point,
the
isn't
squash on. Yeah, that's a strike.
Side out, 12-8.
Oh,
it's fun watching squash on the big screen TV. The camera quality has really advanced in the past few years. You can follow the ball. It's exciting.
That's a great shot there from Monik. JR hitting the deck again.
I'll check it.
Yeah, that's come right into his wheelhouse.
Oh, he kind of rolled his ankle again.
Oh, he seems alright.
Yeah.
Wants the ball checked.
Oh,
it's gone. Chris, yeah.
Yeah.
Easy catch.
Oh,
ball is
that was a broken ball.
No.
Again, the youngest out on the court is warming the ball up.
It's got to be in the rule book. I mean, I know you haven't read the rule book, so you wouldn't know, but it might be in
there. There are actually chopsticks involved.
You never know. But, all right, 12-8. If you're having a little team talk now and you're 8-12 down, you've got this little break, what are you saying?
I mean, I'm probably not saying much.
You listening?
My partner is
You're
probably telling me,
right.
Will, we gotta hit it to Manic, or we gotta hit it to Mudge.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what the question is. Like, who are you?
Well, to make a comeback here, as I said, I think you got to pick on Mudge a little bit. He's just getting the ball back, but he's not really attacking to the extent that
in the way that Monik's
is
able to, right?
And Damien's not hitting any poor shots out there, so you're not necessarily winning rallies off of.
But you're not losing them either, right? I think that's fair. I think he's.
I mean, I think that's got to be the strategy. As
in a team this strong, it's hard to find a weakness, but if there's going to be one, that's where.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, as we know, they're serving to Damien first, so that was a strategy.
I mean, it might even just have been a head thing, right? But greetings, Palmer Page. How are you? It is 1-1.
Squash is winning.
Squash is winning.
Yeah.
You're the 27th fourth person to tell me that you were one of the 4 watching the other night. I think we've got a few more than 4 watching right now. I mean, right now they're looking at us. I did.
I mean,
12-8. Mudge on the right.
Sobhy, come join us.
No.
I don't know. I'm sure Graham Bassett can tell us how many people are watching right now. But joining us in the commentary box, Amanda Sobhy,
there's
the
a break in
2017 Briggs Cup champion.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your win and welcome back. Palmer Page, no one cares what division of the Briggs Cup you won ever. I'm sorry to say. Oh, Monik. That's a great winner there.
13-8.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah, sorry.
Smash.
That was
Ball's good.
smash.
All right, so that, we're talking about how JR likes to attack the new ball and look for the reverse. Palmer Page complimenting my my commentary skills. Thank you very much, Palmer. Palmer, a long-term supporter of City Squash for many, many years and one of the founders of this tournament. No? Exactly. So we thank you for your support of both the WSDA and the SDA. Very much appreciated. But most importantly, your work with City Squash. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a great drop shot by Damien. Feel free to get yourself
14-8, game ball.
The break and play always brings out the best spectators to the commentary booth.
It does, especially when it means that they can head to the bar.
14-9.
That's a great shot there from JR, much needed at game ball down.
Be pretty tough though to still come back here, 14-9.
Never say die in doubles, right?
Game.
There's a good shot by Monik. Just leaving the ball short there by JR. You know, the opening for Monik to step into the ball. That's in the men's game. That's the biggest difference. You got to be really sharp while attacking forwards. If not, you become on the defensive so quick because that pace can become so deadly.
Agreed. All right, Mudge Mathur Machine up 2-1 on Russell Arnold. We'll be back.
Mathur Mudge lead 2-1, love all.
Okay, start of this fourth game here. Joined in the commentary box by Fernanda Rocha, the 2017 Briggs Cup runner-up and Boston U Club member. Boston U Club Pro, I should say, sorry. Welcome, Fernanda. Congrats on a fantastic tournament. Your first final since the Boston Open, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so
one love.
Fernanda and Amanda Sobhy pairing up for next month's Boston Open, which is another SDA WSDA event. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be great.
Thanks for having us back.
One love.
I think it's going to be a yearly thing, so I'm really excited to have a women's draw.
Wonderful,
yeah.
wonderful, great. I mean, just a great squash crowd up there in Boston. Like very knowledgeable, very supportive, and just like had a really great event. Much like the crowd here tonight at in Apawamis. Long term.
I always say I'm lucky. We have so many national champions and really good guys playing. Every day we have a really good community, so
this weekend, a good weekend for the University Club with you and Amanda in the finals and Will Hartigan making the semis.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah,
everybody was
Boston
very excited.
is such a hotbed. Oh, JR just catching the corner there. So that's 1-1. It'll be 2-1. Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say I thought I'd seen one winner from JR already. I think JR just staying on at the end of that game to hit a few balls. I think he was pretty cross with some of the shots he'd made in that third game, and probably still lamenting the loss of that second game. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they can find a way back into this. That's a nice shot there from Damien. JR just putting it back into the corner. Oh, good hands.
Nice.
I have to say, it feels like they sending a lot of balls JR's way.
Stroke.
Yeah, Will Mariani just in the background who thinks it's a let. They've given a stroke. I think that's a bit hard.
3-1.
I would agree that would have been a let, but again, hard to see on our
3-1.
screen. And
yeah, I would agree with that too.
Yeah,
I would have given a let. Yeah.
I mean, he's a big guy, but JR's pretty good with his racket. I think he
Side
probably could
out,
have played that
2-3.
without needing to hit anybody. But there you go.
Down.
Squash Fairies evening it up. That ball just sneaking by Scott, and Russell Arnold up 3-2. So Mathur, former Apawamis teaching pro, so almost a home court for him. He was currently the head pro at the Racket and Tennis Club in New York. But prior to that, he was the assistant pro here, and prior to that, he was the assistant pro at the Field Club of Greenwich. So very much a New York pro. Has learned to play the game as well as he does now in this area. And Damien Mudge, obviously wow. Damien again doing well to stay out the way of that. And he got it, sorry. That's a great get, and he's bounced right back up, and Damien's just basically
3-3.
Oh, nope, Scott on the double bounce, so that's just pulling that back to even.
Deal. Balls were good. Side out, 3-4. Right side. 3-4.
All right, thanks to Fernanda for joining us briefly. Lovely to hear a South American accent on the radio. And Will Mariani back in the box.
Oh, Scotty will go down there.
Team Black hitting the deck again. Yeah. And, just
3-4.
I think that's a let. Yep.
There you go. The replay definitely showed it.
I really do want this to go 5. I think that, you know, these teams are evenly matched enough that this should go the distance, but we'll see.
I mean, Scott and John are up point here early in this game.
It's a good get there from Damien. He's really defending well. I think he's certainly defending better than he was maybe in the first game and a half of this match. He's really sort of stepped forward and I guess sort of felt that pressure. Oh, Scott just missing the nick there, popped up. I think that's the third 3-wall the two of them have tried to hit in this rally. And just not quite made it.
Stop. Yes, let. 3-4.
Couldn't hit it the way that he would have liked to, given where Scott was standing.
See Scott starting to cover that front left a little bit more.
He is, and it makes sense given, you know, his ability to put the pace on the ball, leave JR in that good spot. Just
clip the 10, I think.
It's tough though, because when Scott's covering that much of the court, he does leave that front right very open.
Especially there. Got lucky on that one.
A little bit. A little bit. John Russell, currently the boys squash coach at the Episcopal Academy in Philadelphia. Great school with a long legacy of excellent boys teams. It's a nice shot there from Damien. Scott almost hesitating in his movement up to the front, thinking that, you know, a little bit.
Getting stuck in the back a few times.
Yeah, do you feel like he was too busy to go, waiting to go cover back behind JR on that one? Like, felt like it.
And you'd hope that's not the case, but last few rallies he is behind that red line as the green team is attacking the front right.
Oh wow, that's some 2 great gets there from Damien. I mean, he's obviously played JR enough that he knows that ball's coming, but it's got to be hard to play a team that can get 3 balls like that back consecutively. Like, how good does your shot have to be to beat these? Yeah, and I think, you know, that's got to be the tactic, right? Like, make them wonder just how good has it got to be.
I mean, Monica and Damien are doing a good job playing up on the court too, so they're a little bit of a half step closer to the front compared to the black team.
It's a nice shot there from JR.
Oh, missed one.
Almost the mid-pace catching him there, like not as hard as usual, better placed.
6-4.
That's a great shot. JR talked a lot about yesterday about being very conscious of where on the sidewall you're breaking the ball, depending on where somebody's standing. I think they're just showing that he really does, when he talks about somebody else's game and where they want to put the ball, he really does think about it himself and apply it. He's not a do as I say and not as I do kind of coach. At least in squash.
So you can see the green team is really standing up front, you know, really controlling the court position.
They are.
The black team is normally the team going to the back, hitting defensive shots from back there.
Agreed. And then, you know, I think we're seeing Scott take a very central position in the court. Looks like he might need a belt with those shorts. Keeps pulling them up.
Looks like Monik and Damien are quite comfortable with the pace of play and
yeah, I mean they're controlling this pace, aren't they? Like they're dictating this rally, but as we said, you know, JR is so dangerous that at this pace you would never want to put it on his racket.
He wants to let.
It's a let.
What's Mudge arguing about?
6-4.
Whoa! I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone could decipher what just came out there.
I think maybe the only one that knew was Scott.
Translator in here. Maybe Scott can translate that.
Yes, let.
Oh, let. Oh. Hopefully it's a let.
I hope that's a let. I think
Scott thinks he hit him on his back.
Yeah, it looks like he just clipped him on the shoulder as he hit that. Yeah, that's a let. Interesting, we've got
6-4 for Russell Arnold. They have had leads early in every game almost, except for maybe that third game.
They have.
So
You're very right.
If they can play the middle here and keep the lead.
Well, I'm hoping so.
Oh, is that a let? No let?
I think somebody called a let before JR went for a
let.
Oh, Scott wanted
a let on Damien. I think that's.
Oh, they called no let.
Okay, right. Squash fairies. I think that's a let. I'm sorry, but when you've already exhibited that you're able to play that ball and you're unable to move your racket, there is that needs to be a let.
Correct. I know I was line judging. That was at a court.
6-6.
That's 2 cheap points to draw to pull this back to evens for Mudge Mathur.
But definitely these guys are at the level they play at. They're very good. A shot behind the back is almost a routine shot for these guys.
Right, at the pace that you guys play at, that's a standard if it's coming past you on the other side, I think, right? I mean, I've seen probably every pro on the SDA tour played out at some point, and I think it needs to be a part of the decision-making process as whether that's a let, just because it's not in your preferred wheelhouse.
We haven't seen too many 3-wall boasts here rolling out tonight, you know?
We haven't. It's been staying up a lot. As we've said, it's very lively on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that ball coming out not where J.O. wanted it. And Scott getting pinned. Not happy with how he played that ball. Come on, JR.
Ooh, did he call that?
I think he's going to want it. No. That's a great serve.
Just a good serve,
I think it's
right.
just caught the nick badly there. He's probably worried about asking for a let after the other night's decision of no let on that same ball.
Quick 4-0 run there for Monic and Mudge.
Yeah.
To go up 8-6 here in the fourth. I know Monic, Mudge for sure want to try to close out this match in 4. Oh, let hopefully, but I guess there, Scott. Oh,
I think that's a let. He's trying to get round Damien. The ball sat up. Oh, wait.
Yes.
Yeah, Scott just opening the door to sort of explain what happened.
Yes, let.
Yes, let. I heard Bobby say.
Yeah, I'm starting to sort of wonder about JR's movement. He looks like he's trying to plant himself in one spot.
8-6, left side, Mudgy.
A bit more court. I don't know if that's the ankle roll that he had in that first game is affecting
9-6.
Scott hit a 10 there going for a winner off the return of serve.
Oh, yes. The door is not open that time.
Another head fake there by JR.
Just to confirm, it shouldn't have been a let the first time.
9-7 for Monic Mudge, though.
Big point here.
Next few rallies will be telling.
Yeah, absolutely. Crucial here. Scott looking like he's not that happy with that. That's a good ball there. Needing JR to do a little bit more with that, but
You got it.
Not a massive fan of a double fist pump.
10-7.
I mean, I think it's the emotion there coming through. You're in the finals.
I get it.
Chance to win another Briggs Cup for Damien.
I get it on the side of the person that hit the ball. It's the team fist pump that I just don't love, but it is a good part of the game.
Oh.
Who doesn't?
Ready?
Can't tell if that was down. Looked like JR said it was down. Oh, maybe a broken ball or broken strings. Ball. Maybe Damien's walking around. Can't tell. Maybe. New balls.
New balls, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess the way that bounced out made it clear to JR that ball was broken. Yeah, so I'm guessing it's Mr. Mathur.
For all those people that bet the over on broken balls, they've just won. It was set at 2.5 the line earlier tonight.
We had just been complimenting how much better the squash balls are now, but I guess these guys are hitting it over 160 miles per hour.
These guys are crushing it. So I mean, the balls have been very good this weekend. I didn't notice too many of them breaking as in the past. So that's the one thing as a player. You never want the ball to break. You like playing with one ball as long as
like
possible.
A little breather?
I mean, I love breathers, but I just don't like the ball breaking. I think
you think it disrupts the game, like your concentration?
And as you say, like, you know, the ball bounces differently those first few rallies once you come back to a new ball.
This is true, and I guess we'll be able to see which team takes more advantage of that. But yeah, I mean, that's a 6-point straight through for Mudge Mathur from a 2-point deficit.
They were down 6-4, and now they are up 10-7. So they're on a bit of a run for sure.
So apparently the reason we've had more successful squash balls in the last couple of seasons is a new reinforced seal, thanks to a sponsor, Dunlop, one of the biggest brands in squash, taking note of the hardball doubles, and not only have they reinforced the seal on these balls to that sounds a strange thing to say, but reinforced seals on these blue balls, and they also developed a new high altitude ball for this year's doubles nationals in Denver.
I got to play with the high altitude ball in Santa Fe this past year, and I actually loved it a lot. I didn't notice any difference.
Totally agree.
Compared to the sea level ball.
Yeah, playing up in Denver, Colorado, I was starting to get very frustrated with playing red ball squash. It's not the same, and the new white dot they developed is fantastic. So
that's a
big
good
thanks
shot
to Dunlop there.
11-7.
Just catching the neck, JR.
Now I can only hope I can get invited to more of these high altitude squash cities to use this ball.
Well, if you open that rule book and you start reading it, you might get a few more invites to places. You never know.
I know in March the tour goes to Denver. I've never been to Colorado.
I think you'll like it. I can see you fitting in out there. You've got the beard, you've got the plaid. Yeah, I mean you're basically a natural.
I could fit in, is what you're saying.
12-7.
Absolutely. Oh, JR, come on.
Down 12-7 now.
I have to say the momentum is...
It has swung for sure. That is a good shot by Team Black.
That's a great
That's what
shot.
It takes here for
Side
Team
out,
Black.
8-12.
Yes.
Great high quality winners. Almost when green's not expected. Any sort of long rally here. Green's really up on the court and making it hard for JR and Arnold to put the ball down. I mean, Damien does such a great job of defending over the years and putting the ball at a great angle where you can't do much with it. Especially after long rallies, and you start forcing the opponent into creating more than what he should.
Down.
Ooh,
Nice shot there from JR.
Yeah.
You can't write him
9-12.
off ever. I think World's Finals in Chicago a few years, two years ago proved that when Clive Leach got cramp in the 5th game and it looked all but done, and JR stepped up and they came out victorious. So,
Scotty looking for a winner from the back corner. Telling sign when you start attacking from the back.
Hey, in the words of Peter Briggs, if they're going to beat you from the back, they're going to beat you anyway, but it's the wrong place to be trying to win a match from, I think. Right, Will?
Correct. A couple points here. 10-12 here in the 4th.
10-12.
Strange one there from Damien. You can understand that frustration, yeah. I have to say it's like more been the mid-pace balls that have come at him that have brought the error on. The higher pace ones, obviously maybe he's just a bit more used to that than the sort of middle ground.
Also mixing the angles up between above the shoulder and then between the knees and the shoulder is very important as well.
Right. Just never letting him get comfortable in a certain position.
Monic.
Wow.
Trickle boast there.
That's a great shot. Not much you can do about that, especially when you're stuck behind the Mudge Mathur wall.
Yeah.
Bobby just stretching his legs.
It's JR.
So referee there in the center.
10-13.
So Mudge Mathur 2 points from victory for 1 point from victory for Damien's 6th Briggs Cup, I believe.
14-10 match ball.
Will be 5 championship balls here for Monic Mathur.
14-10.
JR's never won this tournament, I believe.
That's correct.
Don't think this is going to be the one.
Look, you can just hear the pace of the ball. These guys smacking it. Oh, that would have been a great time for a tattoo.
Is that a stroke?
No, that's a let ball for sure.
So why is that a let and not a stroke?
I would just say, he came off the back wall.
Just wondering. Just trying to get a stroke for my boy JR.
For the win? Nope. Oh, he's got it. Still great defense here by Mudge.
Really is.
This is 14-10.
I think, like we said, that he is no stranger to playing.
Yeah, you learned from one of the best playing with Gary Wade as a young 20-year-old, and has carried through for the last
that let, baby.
17, 18 years for Damien on the tour, just getting the ball back and making your opponents
14-10 match
forcing
ball.
your opponents to do something more than what they should.
Right. 2 lets here at match ball. I have a feeling this might end on a Mathur winner, but we'll see.
I'm actually thinking Damien's going to find a winner here for match ball. Yeah, I think he senses the championship and wants to do something special. I know if I was Damien, I would be.
2 great balls there from JR, but this.
Oh, in the middle of the court.
Yeah, that's a great spot.
Saving one championship point.
14-11 match
Wish
ball.
we've seen a little bit more of that throughout the game. I feel like that's the first time he's found that. And very smart ball.
Reverse there. Oh, he got it.
Get your hand down.
Oh, is that who hit that ball?
Damien
hit that ball. That
moved.
could.
Oh!
14-11.
That's very close. That's very close.
Would you give a let, Will?
I mean, that was a tough one for sure.
I feel like he knows he's played a bad shot and he's moved right into it to prevent that being a winner to the other side. But still 4 match balls for the Mudge Mathur machine.
But Damien and Monic definitely haven't changed their strategy as they've got closer to championship point. Oh, and there's the cross court. Good width there by Damien. Match. 2017 Briggs Cup champions. #1 seeds Monic, Mathur, and Damien Mudge. 10-15, 15-13, 15-9, 15-11.
All right, well, congratulations, the Mudge Mathur machine. And that is all from the Briggs Cup. We will be back with the SDA Live in Boston, January 7th, I believe. January 4th. Oh, you start a bit earlier than we do. So January 4th through January 9th, we will be in Boston. So we will see you then.
Okay, guys. Hopefully everyone enjoyed.
Merry Christmas.
Champion.